So, yeah. It's that time of the week where it is the morning after America's Got Talent, the champions. So, how about I talk about what I saw? Oh, man, last night was great. Although, admittedly, I think the times I get up really early on the weekends to go running is sort of affecting how I go to bed earlier in the work week, Monday through Friday. Because, seriously, yeah, last night was it was 9 o'clock, so roughly halfway through when the show is over. And I started dozing off. I think I actually may have missed one of the acts. Thank goodness we have the internet where I can just simply go look at the act that I missed. And so I did. With that said, happy Tuesday. It is no longer Monday. We no longer have to feel sad, and we can simply move on with our day. Yeah. I mean, something you're going to hear me say a lot when talking about these videos is, for all intents and purposes, I really want to, really pronounce the "and" in there just so people can understand I'm not being lazy and saying it the incorrect way. Anyway, again, for all intents and purposes, every single one of these acts most definitely deserves to be on this show. For that matter, they actually all deserve to move on. But I will admit, there were some acts last night where either nerves did in fact really get the better of them, or the talent they were using, while very impressive, really wasn't that great in comparison to what other people were doing. So, with that said, for those who did come back that we knew, like Darcy Lynn, the ventriloquist, she came back, and just like the year she won, she was awesome, as you can imagine. Yeah, she was first, and actually, trying to excuse me, figure out who else is there. Let's see. So yeah, Darcy Lynn was great, and spoiler, she actually ended up, unfortunately, and I will be going into major spoilers throughout, so I don't really have a set time, and actually, yeah, I do. I'll talk about the acts first, and then I'll get into spoilers. So the acts they showed last night were Darcy Lynn, the singing ventriloquist, the Ashley and Sully from Britain, the dancing dog act, a jump rope dancing crew, which I have never seen before. Seriously, if you guys remember America's Best Dance Crew, or ABDC, I get the feeling like if that jump rope dance crew was on that show, they'd probably win, even though this particular group was from the Ukraine, I believe. No, they're from either Ukraine or they're from Holland. I forget where specifically they were from, but they're really good. The Light Balance, the electronic dance group from a few years ago, they were on there, where the stage is completely dark, and they have built-in LCD lights in their clothes, and so they're able to move with the rhythm and stuff. That was really fun. Taylor Williamson, the comedian, was there. Victor Cree, who was a juggler. I forget if he was from the Ukraine or Holland. Or, actually, he's from the same place as the electronic dance group, so there we go. So, yeah. All in all, this was a very, very, very good episode. Oh, right. There was also, excuse me. I'm starting to, unfortunately, this time of year, people are starting to get a little sick, and I think I'm starting to get that as well. There was also, Deadly Games, or those, knife throwers. That was really fun. And, holy cow, quite possibly the greatest singer from the country of Spain I have ever seen in my entire life. I am not even kidding. This, again, for all intents and purposes, every single one of these acts deserves to be on here and should deserve to move forward, but, you know, you can only move forward with the golden buzzer or if America votes you to move on. Again, you know, it's 50 acts, as in 5-0, and 2 acts are moving on. So after 5 weeks, you have 10 acts that are left, and the 6th week, you know, you have those 10 best acts compete, and then a week later, we decide the champion. It's actually pretty straightforward when you think about it. Now we get into spoilers, and I'm going to go into spoilers right now at 5:45. I'm looking at the clock on my phone to see when I start and when I'm done. So, how about I get into who I didn't feel quite. I mean, they were good, but not quite as good to move on. For starters, Taylor Williamson, the comedian, he actually got runner-up a few years ago on America's Got Talent. He wasn't bad. In fact, he legitimately made me laugh. But as someone who actually has performed on stage before, and as someone who, of course, gets nervous just like, anyone else, you can tell that the nerves were kind of settling in. And it kind of affected his delivery for a joke. Not that he was bad. Not far from it. Again, he legitimately made me laugh. And I really couldn't, that is a comedian's number one job, is to make people laugh. Because, if you're a comedian and you can't make anyone laugh, then you may need to think about a career change. That's just, because, seriously, one of my brothers, and one of the inspirations for making this video, is he does stand up as sort of a side hobby, I guess. Well, I mentioned him before, he's my brother of many talents. He does, stand up, and he could probably tell you better than I can that, well, actually, he saw this performance, he would definitely see that there were nerves too. He'd probably be able to tell how good or bad it was better than I could. But overall, I didn't think he was that bad. I mean, pretty obvious he didn't move on, but whatever. Another act I thought was a little bit on the weak side was the jump rope dance crew. Again, these guys weren't bad. It's just, and don't get me wrong, I do jump rope, on occasion, I'll do that sort of stuff in terms of working out. But, how do I put this? Jump rope is a very limiting sort of tool to use for an act, especially in the form of dance. I mean, I mentioned America's Best Dance Crew earlier. There was one dance crew on that show that featured using roller skates for dancing. And while roller skates are also limiting as well, they definitely lend a lot more to what you could do in terms of, the realm of possibility better than jump rope does. At least I think so. Again, these guys weren't bad. Far from it. They were actually quite very good. So, how about we get into the other ones that were also very good? I'm actually looking at the things. I'm looking at the people who won right now too, just to get a reminder. And funny enough, I actually did sleep through one of the acts. I am so sorry. It was Courtney Hadwin, the singer. So, yeah, that was stupid of me. And I mean, I did wake up for the golden buzzer, but I'll get into that momentarily. Now we get into other acts I thought were actually very good. The light balance was good. Darcy Lynn was very good. I actually just saw Courtney Hadwin's performance earlier on YouTube. Hey, they get these things out fast. What can I tell you? Piff the Magic Dragon and the Ashley and Sully. Which seriously, what is it with America's Got Talent showing dog acts and making the dogs look incredibly cute? Stop that. You're gonna make me cry with all the puppy love. No pun intended. With that said, pretty much any dog related act is going to be amazing and cute. So, there's that. Victor Key, the juggler, he was very good and very entertaining. And now how about we get into the technically top 4, because one went on via Golden Buzzer, whereas the other one was voted, by America. So I mentioned Courtney Hadwin, and she actually got 3rd place. Which, again, she was good, and for all intents and purposes, once again, ladies and gentlemen, every single one of these acts deserves to move forward. So, honestly, the fact that the 2 people who ended up moving on were the ones that ended up moving on, that's pretty cool. And, I am a Darcy Lynn fan. I am. I do like ventriloquism. So, it did sort of break my heart a little bit to find out she got 2nd place. But, she was good. I don't really know what else to say other than she was awesome. And now, finally, the 2 people who moved on last night were Christina Ramos, the Spanish singer. She actually got voted on by America. And holy cow, I think she may very well be the best singer from Spain I've ever heard. She was amazing. The term "I was blown away" is used kind of a lot nowadays, but it works here. Trust me, it does. And the team that got the Golden Buzzer was Deadly Games, the knife throwing group, which, yeah, they deserved it. Although with that said, I'm definitely going to be careful about how I use sharp utensils. As someone who dabbles in the kitchen every now and again, of course, I know how to handle myself properly. Says the guy who accidentally cut himself and had to go to the emergency room almost a year ago. Yep, that was a thing. So, there you go. And the spoilers end here at 12:50. There we go. Okay, so, overall, this is a fun show to watch, and of course, when you have a host like Terry Crews, it's going to be totally awesome to watch. And, Howie, Mel B, Heidi, and Simon, they're all fun to watch. Seeing them interact is always a pleasure. So, yeah, and the best part about shows like this is, every single one of those acts is already on YouTube. So, feel free to watch them yourself. And even though America already decided who got to move on and who didn't, maybe you can watch and see if America was right. Who knows? I may actually end up watching the acts later just to see if, my opinion is any different from the rest of the super fans in America. You never know. So that's what I have to say for right now, and now I think it's time we all get on with our day, which should be fun. So, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I could really use the support on YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. As always, I am very humbled that I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy today. I'm hopeful you all have a wonderful Tuesday. And remember, if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, I will always be here to lend an ear. And I will always most certainly have your back. Take care.